State and federal authorities are working around the clock in Charleston, West Virginia, after a spill leaked chemicals into the Elk River.
Hundreds of thousands of citizens in West Virginia are heading into this weekend dealing with a major water emergency.
A state of emergency has been declared in West Virginia in the USA after a chemical leak into a river. Drinking water in 9 counties has been deemed unsafe.
A chemical spill contaminated the water supply to more than 100,000 customers. That includes homes, businesses, even hospitals.
People are unable to use water for anything. That means no showering, no shaving, no morning coffee, and no idea just how much longer it'll take. The problem began here in a storage tank full of chemicals used to process coal. It leaked into the Elk River, supplying water to the entire region. At first, the water company thought the treatment plant could filter it out, but then learned it hadn't.
It's clear that it's migrated through the treatment plant into the distribution system and that it's at the customer's taps.
The chemical is not considered to be toxic, but officials aren't sure how much of it is in the pipeline. So they issued a warning: do not use the water at all. Within hours, 9 counties were included in the advisory. EMS centers were flooded with calls.
It may change for the good, it may change for the bad, but we're trying to get the information out in a timely manner and not to alarm the people.
Now, something else to keep in mind here is that some of the symptoms that are involved in this, or that authorities are warning residents of, is burning throat, itching hands and arms and skin, and a lot of other symptoms that are just really scary to begin with.
It's unbelievable. How dangerous is this chemical if people are exposed to it?
So, Anderson, we know that if you're exposed to this chemical undiluted, it's harmful if swallowed. It's an irritant to your eyes and to your skin. What we don't know is how dangerous it is when it's diluted. And there's no question it's very diluted in this situation. It's gone through the river. It's gone through the water system. You know, there have been a case of a couple of hospitalizations, around 5 people who were nauseous and vomiting. But we're told by health officials that the illnesses were only minor.
We don't know that the water's not safe, but I can't say it is safe.
In the meantime, bottled water and bags of ice have been flying off store shelves.
This is actually the 3rd place I've been to trying to get water, so I've resorted to ice.
Right now, West Virginia Governor Earl Ray Tomblin has declared a state of emergency for 9 counties surrounding Charleston, West Virginia. Schools and businesses have been closed, and the 300,000 or so residents that have been affected by this spill are told not to drink the water, not even to wash their hands with it.
It's going to be days before folks here have water again, Anderson.
The company that's responsible for this, and what do they have to say?
Look, guys, it has been an extremely long day. I'm having a hard trouble talking at the moment. I would appreciate it if we could wrap this thing up. I will.
Well, we actually have a lot of questions, and it's been a long day for a lot of people who don't have water. So can you give us an exact timeline as to how this all happened? The DEP was saying earlier today, as early as 8:15 yesterday morning, they were getting reports, and that you all did not call it in until 12 noon. The DEP was already here at 11:15. So what's the timeline on all this?
We were aware of the leaking storage tank around 10:30. We load tank trucks of this material on a regular basis, and occasionally we've had reports of an odor previously. So we were first aware of any material being spilled at 10:30 yesterday.
Could it have been earlier than yesterday? Because we've also received reports into our newsroom that it was as early as Wednesday, possibly Tuesday. People were starting to smell this in the area.
We have no information on that.
Are there no systems in place to alert you of a leak at your facility other than a smell?
At this moment in time, I think that's all we have time for. So thanks for coming. Thanks for your time.
We have more questions. Hey. No, we're not done.
You're not done.
We're not done. No. Anyone else have any other questions?
Just minutes ago, President Obama approved a disaster declaration for West Virginia. 9 counties are dealing with a chemical spill. It contaminated the water supply. Up to 300,000 people are being told not to touch the tap water.
Charlie, Nora, the chemical began leaking from a hole in a storage tank in the facility behind me. The Department of Environmental Protection is still trying to figure out how that hole got there and exactly how much of the material has leaked out. Some reports have said as much as 5,000 gallons has leaked into the water. Crowds filled stores in West Virginia Thursday night, stocking up on everything from water to ice. Demand for the items so high, shelves were wiped clean.
Everybody's wanting water. There is no water, and that brings concern.
I got a buggy full of ice up here, so it'll turn into water, but I mean, you can't live without water.
The water supply for hundreds of thousands became tainted after a chemical spilled into the Elk River in Charleston. The governor ordered a state of emergency.
For safety, we would just ask that everyone please do not use any tap water.
The leak happened just about a mile north of the state's largest water treatment plant. The material, a foaming agent used to clean coal, began leaking from a 48,000-gallon storage tank at Freedom Industries, a chemical manufacturer.
We don't know a lot about the product, and we're still, sampling and looking at concentrations.
Officials were alerted after residents reported a strange odor in the air. Fu Connor's parents live across from the facility.
It's extremely out of the ordinary. A lot of people describe it as licorice, but it's this sweet type of smell.
The chemical could be harmful if ingested in large amounts and could potentially cause eye and skin irritation. As a precaution, the health department ordered all restaurants and schools impacted to close. Crews were spotted working at the affected areas throughout the night, but there's no telling how long residents will have to steer clear of the water.
You can't wash the dishes, you can't take a shower, so that's more frustrating than it is nervous or upset.
In the United States, up to 300,000 people in West Virginia have spent a second night without tap water after a chemical spill into the Elk River. With no end in sight, authorities have been forced to declare a state of emergency.
We have a baby, and so we're trying to find water for him for formula. It really doesn't matter for us. We're just trying to make sure he has what he needs.
Almost 19,000 litres of material went into the Elk River. Chemical levels are said to be declining, but there's a lingering odour, which, although not lethal, a safe level is yet to be quantified.
My daughter's 13, of course, she has to have a shower and everything. She called me or texted me this morning and said she was taking a shower regardless. And I told her not to do that because when we turned on our water this morning, it just smelled like a grape cough syrup smell, a lot like you can smell here in the air today.
Hourly tests are being carried out in the meantime, but authorities say it's unclear when they'll be able to lift the do not drink ban or when the water will be safe to use.
Tonight, truckloads of water are being rushed to the capital of West Virginia for about 300,000 people. 9 counties are affected by a chemical spill from an industrial plant. Chip Reed is there.
There you go.
Charleston, West Virginia area residents knew something was wrong when their water started smelling like licorice.
Pretty stressful with the kids and can't hardly cook,
Stephanie Keaton and thousands of others flocked to water distribution sites all across the area since they can't turn on the tap at home. Jeff McIntyre is president of West Virginia American Water.
But don't make baby formula with it, don't brush your teeth with it, don't wash with it, don't shower with it, don't drink it. You can't just boil it.
The U.S. Justice Department is investigating this incident, and Scott, late today, the West Virginia Department of Environmental Protection ordered Freedom Industries to cease operations at this facility and to inspect all of its tanks here for leaks.
Chip Reed on the scene. Chip, thanks very much.
But it's a tremendous concern when 300,000 West Virginians, something we take for granted and is so needed and vital as life-supporting water, and it's something that we've got to get corrected as quickly as possible. Then find out what caused it, who's the culprit, and what type of things we can do to prevent this from happening.
Mayor Jones, people are told that their drinking water is only good for flushing toilets. 300,000 people without water. Your town must be desperate right now. They can't cook, they can't clean, they can't shower. This is a horrific situation.
It's a disaster, and it's caused us more problems than you can ever imagine. Not only can we not wash dishes, we can't wash our hands after we go to the bathroom, you can't wash your clothes, and you can't drink the tap water, you can't cook with the tap water. So it's caused us all kind of grief, and it's a prison from which we'd like to be released. We hope that the company behind us, West Virginia American Water, can come up with a solution to this, and come up with a solution soon.
Meanwhile, significant new developments this morning in a chemical spill that has forced 300,000 people to stop drinking water out of the taps in their homes.
More than 700 people in the Charleston area have called poison control centers, complaining of nausea, vomiting, headaches, and rashes. 70 people went to local hospitals. For the 300,000 area residents, it's been a frustrating day and a half. Overnight, FEMA trucks bringing more than 1 million liters of clean water for people to drink, bathe, cook, and clean.
I get really upset because we're basically just trying to find water just so we can be able to, take a shower, have something to drink.
The crisis began when a toxic chemical used to process coal leaked out of a 48,000-gallon storage tank. The chemical overflowed into the Elk River just north of a water treatment plant that provides drinking water for the region.
Do not drink it, do not cook with it, do not wash clothes in it, do not take a bath in it.
The advisory set off a run on stores, people emptying shelves of water bottles across the region. But some people still concerned after using the water before the warning.
Brush my teeth and I wash my face with it.
Okay.
So that kind of scares me.
This incident is extremely unfortunate, unanticipated, and we are very, very sorry for the disruption to everybody's daily life that this incident has caused.
While the tainted water is not considered deadly, some people have had stronger symptoms or reactions to it than others. Residents are still advised to stay away from the water, and there's no word yet on when it will be safe for drinking.